first, we begin with that breaking news. Former Sheriff Deputy Sean Grayson has been found guilty of second-degree murder in the death of Sonya Massey. Back in 2024, Grayson shot and killed Massey while responding to her 911 call about a prowler. Now, Grayson says he shot Massey in self-defense, fearing she would throw a pot of boiling water at him. But prosecutors say Grayson could have left Massey's home rather than shooting and killing her. We want to show you body cam footage of that interaction, which may be disturbing to some viewers.
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
I swear to God, shoot you right in your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot!
All right, we want to go live to Jericka, Duncan, outside of the courthouse in Peoria, Illinois. Jericka, you were there when the verdict was read. What was the reaction in the courtroom?
It was emotional inside that courtroom. You could see tears from both the Massey family as well as Grayson's family when that verdict was read, guilty on the second-degree murder charge. Now, of course, Grayson was facing a first-degree murder charge, which could have had him in prison for the rest of his life. With this second-degree murder charge, he's facing, we're told, anywhere from 4 to 20 years behind bars. But there are things that still obviously need to be worked out at sentencing, which as of right now is January 29th of next year in Sangamon County, not here in Peoria County. But I can tell you that as I looked at Grayson's face, he was pretty stoic. He was looking straight at the judge. After the bailiffs came and they handcuffed him, he was looking for his family, or what appeared to be him looking for his family. His family had already left the courtroom, but there was clearly a moment where the judge thanks the jury, understanding that the video that they looked at twice in this trial was very graphic, very disturbing. He thanked them for their service, and everyone sort of went out on their way. But the process in of itself took about 5 minutes. The jurors came in, they announced the verdict, and that was it.
It's my understanding they deliberated for a total of 6 hours and then came up with this verdict. Have you heard from Sonya Massey's family?
So Sonya Massey's family, when I spoke to them before, they said, you know, the best they were hoping for, at least one of the family members said, was that first-degree murder conviction. They understood that second-degree murder was on the table, but of course they did not want Grayson to be acquitted on all charges. So they said they had mixed feelings going in. I have not gotten a chance to speak to them just yet. We ran right outside of this courthouse to set up to obviously bring you this breaking news. But I can tell you, having met with this family almost a year ago, that it's been very challenging for them. It's something that they can't shake. You know, they will always sort of be attached to this graphic video that has been seen around the world. I was listening to Sonya Massey's, I think she's 16. I know she said she's in the 10th grade, 15 or 16-year-old daughter, just speak about how much she missed her mom and how her life has changed drastically as a result, because she's the girl who, oh, your mom was killed by that police officer. So I think the family, I can't imagine what they've been through. And then when I think about Sean Grayson's family, I was actually sitting behind them yesterday for closing arguments, and it was clear that they've been torn apart by this too. When the defense was talking about how Sean Grayson was justified in what he did and he followed policy by the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office, you could see family members of his looking at the jurors kind of in that direction and shaking their head, almost to say, yes, you see, like, he did what he was supposed to do. He didn't do anything wrong. When the defense attorney mentioned that it was Sonya Massey who sort of escalated the situation, were the words that the defense attorney used, you could see again Grayson's family shaking their head like, yes, if there wasn't a pot involved, and I guess in their opinion, their family member, Sean Grayson, did not feel threatened, none of this would have happened. But of course the prosecution sees this completely different and said that this has to do with someone who, in the words of the prosecutor, was a bully, they said, who didn't like not being in control and did not respond the way that he should have in a case like that. So you have families that have obviously been torn apart by this tragedy, but there will be a sentencing, which is the next step in this. We don't know yet if there's any plans to appeal this verdict, which sometimes you see, but there will be a sentencing in January.
Jericka, Duncan, thank you for your observations. Appreciate it. We want to bring in CBS News senior crime and public safety producer Anna Schecter. Anna, let's talk about this. Grayson not guilty of first-degree murder, but guilty of second-degree murder. So what does that verdict tell you?
Well, it tells me that the jury was convinced by Sean Grayson's testimony on the stand that he felt threatened by that pot of boiling water, that they thought that was a mitigating factor. We all watched that body cam footage. We all saw him pull the trigger and shoot her and cause her death. But the question at hand was there a reasonable impression on his part that he was in danger. And so to me, this second-degree murder charge with a sentencing guideline that caps at 20 years instead of that life, to me, this means that the jury was convinced that he did feel threatened and convinced enough that they brought that charge down to the second-degree murder.
Grayson testified, as you mentioned. Do you think that helped him?
I do think that it helped him. I think that the body camera video was so damning. It was actually, it shocked the entire country. That video went viral even outside of this country. It ripped apart the community. It caused new training to be implemented at the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office, a bill that was signed into law in Illinois. So that was all in the prosecution's favor. So him taking the stand and testifying to his state of mind, even if he didn't do a perfect job, at one point he started talking about using a taser, and he thought that the taser darts might not get through her clothing, and that's why he fired the gun. When I was seeing that, I didn't know how a jury would react to that, but clearly it worked. Now, of course, it is rare for a law enforcement official to be convicted of something like this, of second-degree murder. So, you know, he didn't get off, but certainly that sentencing guideline is significantly lower than the first-degree murder.
Anna Schecter. Anna, thank you.